Hey everyone! If you're new to this channel, welcome. Feel free to introduce yourself in the comments and maybe make some new friends. And if you're not so into voiceovers, then don't forget I always upload an instrumental version which should be linked in the top corner right about now. And if you're a returning viewer, hi! I guess I got a bit of explaining to do. I kind of just dropped off the planet for a while there, didn't I? I'm sorry about that. It actually ended up being a practical issue more than anything else that made me stop making videos for a while. I was in the middle of my degree when I started making YouTube videos, and I really loved it, and I loved the teeny tiny community we were building, even though it was only like the very start. However, my degree was in multimedia design, and that required me to have at least 50 gigabyte of available space on my computer at all times because I had to use my personal computer for study work. Without those extra 50 gigabytes of space, some of the programs I needed for my course wouldn't work. And the footage for just this one video is almost 130 gigabytes. I don't know if you know this, but it takes almost 4 to 5 hours of footage just to get this one 12-minute video. I guess I could extend it if I didn't speed it up as much. I don't know, do you guys prefer longer or shorter videos? You can always let me know in the comments. But I think it's just an insane number. And unfortunately, that kind of meant I was forced to stop because I just couldn't have all the available space on my computer that I needed. And I didn't have the time to empty my computer every night or have more than one work in progress at a time. And it was all getting really complicated. But now that I'm officially done with my degree, my computer can be for my hobbies again. And yeah, one of my hobbies is making Sims videos, and I'm really excited to get back into it. As you can probably tell by now, this is a pink flower cottage in Henford-on-Bagley, where there's this incredible lot for Cordelia's secret cottage. I love the surroundings with the mountains, waterfall, the lake, all the nature. And honestly, if a place like this existed in Denmark, where I live, I would love to live there. My country, on the other hand, is super flat, especially the part where I'm from, and I just couldn't see myself moving too far away from my family. I think it's such a funny thing because I also lived in Canada for a while, and it was so much more normalized there to live hours away from your family, move hours and hours away for college and things like that. And you know, it takes days to get across that country, and if I were to get across mine, it will only take like 3 hours, and I think that would be insane to move that far away. And I just think it's so funny how the size of the country we live in really kind of defines how far is an acceptable distance to us. It's so funny. So in just a little bit, I'm going to start working more on the outside of the house when I just finish up with this kitchen real quick. And I really wanted the garden to exude that magical vibe. I decided to, use flowers all the way up on the roof. And honestly, the reason I ended up doing that was because the roof was clipping and I didn't know how to make it work with the tower. And I guess I'm just not that good at roofing. I guess that's a Achilles heel for a lot of people playing The Sims. And honestly, happens to me too. And I couldn't really get it to work out the way I wanted, so I decided to let's just cover it up with flowers and get a bit more magical with it. And anyway, then I started making this side garden thing where, we can grow some vegetables and magical things, and I really wanted to embrace, the nature in this build where, we get a lot of the bunnies helping out and the cute birds, and even putting down I think it's called Patchy, that scarecrow thing. And if you don't know about that, it comes with seasons and you can interact with it. And if you talk to it a lot, you can start checking its pockets for seeds and it'll leave little gifts to you. And I think it's so funny to play with it and have it as a friend, especially, for these, when I play test it, it's kind of funny to just have Patchy walking around because he will get up and get off his crow stick. I don't know what it's called. either way, he gets up sometimes and just walks around and, you know, tends to the garden, and I just think it's so cute. Like, to think of this as like a little witch's cottage where everything's just a bit more magical. Anyway, if we were to talk about the interior for a while, I guess I changed my mind a lot of times working on it. I really was having trouble visualizing what I wanted the interior to be like. I had such a clear idea of, like, you know, how I wanted the tower on the outside. I wanted it to be pink, so many flowers everywhere. I wanted it to extend up onto the roof and all these things. But when it came to the interior, I just couldn't really decide, and I guess I kind of wanted to go for a more light thing in the end than a moody vibe. In the start, I think, you know, I was building with these like dark panels, and I was considering maybe like that dark green kitchen from the vampire set, and instead I kind of like pivoted and went more of a, I guess, whimsical-ish, not really whimsical, but more like a touch of modern and more light and airy vibe. And I still wanted to bring in a lot of colors. It was actually when I was making this bathroom that I decided to kind of pivot into that more modern thing. At this point, I hadn't changed the kitchen out yet. I decided to kind of do some post-production magic there, just so it will be more of a seamless experience for you, the viewer, to see like the kitchen finished before moving on, instead of going back and forth, but that was actually what was happening. So when I decided to use those lighter counters in the bathroom, that's kind of when I started to find like the rest of the vibe. So those counters that became kind of the defining point for the style are from Dream Home Decorator. And I know a lot of you guys don't have a lot of packs because honestly, they're expensive when you need to get a lot of them. I don't even have all of them, not that there's any particular reason I should, because it's not like I'm a big creator or anything. But I do have more than a lot of people because I have a brother who is very generous with his Sims gift giving, so thank you, Christopher. And this is one of those builds where I kind of just go wild and crazy and build with whatever packs I have. I don't really restrict myself, but sometimes I also like to make limited pack builds because what really matters most is that other people can get some use out of them. So there's kind of like, you know, these are a bit more entertainment value, and then maybe there's some where instead of like dreaming all these things up we can do, then, you know, something we can use in your game maybe. So if you have any like combination of packs that you'd like me to see a build with, let me know. I don't have a lot of kits, but I think I have most expansion packs except for Lovestruck. And I also don't have the Life or Death pack that will be coming out in October, and I don't think I'll be getting it anytime soon. But, you know, if maybe you have like Growing Together in Seasons, or you have Cats and Dogs and Cottage Living. Isn't that what it's called? Cottage Living? Oh my god, I need to look that up. That would be so embarrassing. Okay, I looked it up. It is called Cottage Living. Those two are actually the first two packs I started with because I kind of like to use it as a little, you know, farming game with a lot of like pets, and I just like animals in real life, and that's my dream. So I'm kind of living it out in The Sims until I can actually move out into the country myself. But if you let me know what kind of packs you have in the comments, then maybe I can take a starting point from that and make some with that combination. And I'd like to see all sorts of combinations, like whatever people have. I know there are multiple people watching this, so, you know, maybe I'll use your comment one day and maybe someone else's another day. But always feel free to leave me suggestions for what I should build. Maybe you even have, you know, preferred house or style. I think it's a lot more fun sometimes to just build for someone else, and then I kind of get to use my creativity in a new way instead of always going back to my comfort build of cute cottages in the woods. But even if you don't have all these packs, you can still download this from the gallery. It will sometimes replace things a little bit weirdly, and other times it will just leave some things out. But you can kind of get the shell at least, and then, you know, depending on what you have, it might look a little funny and it might not. So you can always just, you know, download it and see if it's something for you. All my builds are in the gallery. I have the same gallery ID as my name here on YouTube, Sanda Sims. So yeah, you can always just go download it and see if something fits for you. I never use custom content in my buildings. I do like to use custom content for my Sims, but I never build with it. So if you're into like more plain Sims like that, then maybe my gallery is the place for you. I also don't use the tool mod, and I haven't really taken a definitive stance on it because I see people doing absolutely incredible things with it, but it feels so inaccessible, to the average player who maybe wants to get some tips and tricks while watching. And so I do use bb.moveobjects, that cheat, but that's kind of it for my building cheats. Anyway, we're quickly nearing the end of this video. It's been so much fun to make a video again. I really missed it, and I've been excited about this for a week, and my brother keeps asking me, when does it come out? When does it come out? But I haven't really had the time to really put the finishing touches together before now, and I'm really excited, and I hope you liked the video. If you did, you can always leave a comment or thumbs up or something like that. It will help me get a bigger reach. But mostly, I'm just really grateful you're here and you stuck with me till the end. And again, I am all ears if you have any suggestions on anything. I'll be trying to find a more consistent schedule. I would really like to maybe make one video a week. It will probably take a bit of time for me to get a proper log of videos here in the beginning, but I will, hopefully have one video per week very soon for you. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye!